In this version of the Persistent Jihadi, a Muslim from Pakistan jumps in, and even though he speaks, I'm pretty sure speaks in a even though he probably sounds like uh, Apu from The Simpsons. You're not when I talk like this, I think I will just do my continue doing my mock Arabic accent for him also. So, and since he is uh, brief in this thing, I'll read front on for him and sideways for my words here. Okay, so he says this: Hi, Dragon Driver. Hello. Nice to see people like you who first study Islam and then criticize. Well, it should be that way. Else most of the Americans just start criticizing in the open air. Now, coming back to your question, you see the thing is, Quran was revealed in Arabic, not English. So you should not always look at its English perspective. Because all English versions of the Quran make the Quran sound evil and stupid? If so, that would be a good reason to only read the Arabic ones. Arabic is from the Semitic language family. Hence, its grammar is very different from English. Well, if strike at the necks really means kiss the necks, and sun runs to your resting place really means earth rotates, I would say so. Me, myself, is Pakistani Muslim, and we speak Urdu here, which is our national language. But you know Arabic and can understand it, true? Even if we read the translation in Urdu, we won't understand because it is not the plain Arabic. Right. Its highest level of Arabic scripture, like the highest level of English scripture, is Shakespeare's books, which I have also read, but could not understand it myself. So, what did I do then? I went to ask an English professor and he explained it to me. Same goes with the Quran. Even if you read the translation, you cannot understand every part of it. You need a professor, an Islamic scholar. And he will say, rise up and slay after sacred months really means. And there are thousands of videos available on YouTube in English. Hopefully, you will check them out later. So, in a nutshell, Arabic requires an inclusion of the pronoun in relative clauses, unlike English, in which the pronoun is omitted, differentiates between male and female pronouns, verbs, words, and sentence structure. Pronouns, like they and you, have specifications in male and female, singular and plural. It is my humble request to keep reading the Quran and ask questions. In other words, the best planners chose a language that can't be translated very well. But again, what does, quote, the sun runs to a resting place mean to you? Does it mean rotates in Arabic? And you want to know something? He never responded. But Persistent Jihadi jumped in and said, abrogation not of Quran but previous scriptures. Where does it say in the, quote, clear signs, unquote, that it doesn't mean the Quran, but abrogation in the previous scriptures? You ask for evidence. People of book saw Muhammad as true while others lied. And the Quran also infers that Muhammad took a flying donkey ride, like the Hadith says with Quran 17, verse 1. Khadijah and Muhammad to cousin Waraka, a Exian, that means Christian, who wrote in Hebrew, which means he accepted Muhammad as true. Did you know that Khadijah talked Muhammad, she talked Mo into thinking he was a prophet when Mo thought he was demon possessed? By the way, did you also know that Mo said women had half a brain compared to that of men? Mo might have been right there with Khadijah. Al-Hasan, a Jew, also accepted his and mentioned in Torah. He did. Okay, I'm sold. Islam is true. Thus, Bible now isn't same Bible. Dead Sea Scrolls? Babur Papyrus? Then what is the book that makes people of the book? The quote clear signs say confirms. God knows what they keep secret and make known, which you have to believe, even though Allah slips up and tells the truth about being the best of deceivers. I see. Promising you sex with virgins if you kill for it. Some are unlettered, who know scripture from hearsay and guess, which means, so woe to those who write the book with their own hands and say it is from God. That's Quran 2, 77 through 79. Clear! Unless it's with the quote clear signs, then it's okay, I see. Comparison of two versions of John. In Bodmer Papyri, with 3rd century Chester Beatty Papyri, convinced Floyd V. Wilson that, quote, there's no uniform text of the Gospels in Egypt in 3rd century. Quran tells us there were some among the people of book, like Waraka, who had access to originals written in Hebrew. If you deny Quran on this matter, you must magnify Chester Beatty's view that no standard text meant no true Bible. Do you accept Quran that a true gospel existed or not? I invite you to confirm. I don't think there ever was a quote book given to a book given to Isa, Jesus. I think Mo believed the New Testament was not letters and gospels about Jesus in the book, but in the Bible, but that it was an actual book called the Gospel. Since the New Testament is gospel to Christians, gospel or quote Injil, as the Quran calls it, is a Greek word meaning good news. It's not an Aramaic word like the Quran would lead you to believe, being that books are, quote, handed down, unquote, to, quote, prophets in their own language, unquote. Injil, or gospel, again, is a Greek word. If the Quran was true about books, quote, handed down to, quote, prophets in their own language, unquote, the Injil, then the Injil would have been called not gospel or Injil, but some language in Aramaic, since the Quran says it was given to Jesus, an Aramaic speaking prophet. And he never responded to that. But then he jumped in and said, to change the subject, he jumped in and said, abrogation is addressing Jews. Read verses before and after. Waraka was Christian, yet acknowledged. Quran confirms previous true scripture. Where in the, quote, clear signs, unquote, does it say, quote, confirms previous true scriptures? Scripture, please. Quran says women equal to men, unlike Bible. Even though Mo said women have half a brain compared to that of a man? Where in the, quote, clear signs, unquote, is that scripture to contradict Mo about women having half a brain compared to that of men? Scripture, please. Desist in lies about being half of men. I take it you aren't a Sunni and no longer have to believe in the sound hadith of Bukhari that has Mo saying women have half a brain to that of a man. Are you a Shiite now? Or are you now one of the rapidly growing in number Quranis, Quran-only Muslims? Your change jumping from clear signs to debate hadiths that some Muslims reject. Only Shiites and the Quran-only Muslims reject Sahih sound Bukhari. Are you now a Qurani? Or are you a Shiite? Stay with clear signs. Because we are not... Because you are not a Sunni, one who follows the Sunnah. Dead Sea Scrolls written over 1,000 years after originals and so aren't conclusive. You're talking with someone who knows that is a lie, like you saying I lied when you said I said the word son for word in John 1:1. Muslims are told to save lives, not to kill. How about saving the lives of those who don't want to pull out a prayer rug 5 times a day, every day, to put their patooties in the air and refuse to pay the jizya tax? Are you to not kill those people, quote, after sacred months have passed, unquote? That's Quran 9, verse 1 through 5. What happens? What are you supposed to do with them? Unless in defense. Desist and deception. Clear! Again. What about those people who think pulling out a prayer rug and sticking their patooties up in the air 5 times a day, every day, or pay the jizya is like bowing to the idol set up by Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon, and refuse? What if they refuse to do it for fear they are worshiping Satan? What are you to do with those people who are religious and are trying to be like the 3 men in the book of Daniel? I think it's Meshach, and Abednego. What are you, a Muslim, to do to them after sacred months have passed? The quote, sacred months have passed, as Quran 9, 1 through, as Quran 9, 5 says. Scripture is true by definition. As today's Bibles aren't original, the Quran was clearly referring to true one, not present versions. If so, then where are those true ones that sound as ubiquitous in Mo's time as the Bible was in Mo's time? Yeah, that is ubiquitous in Mo's time as the Bible was in Mo's time. When did those original ones become lost to make Quran 5, verse 68, 10, verse 94, 4, verse 136, 150, 151, 152, and 2, verse 285 lies? To make, quote, confirmation and reminding, unquote, a lie in the Quran as well. When did the, quote, true one, unquote, become lost? It had to be before the, quote, handing down of Quran 2:106 about abrogation. True? You lie about half a brain. Try to change the subject. You need to read the Sahih Hadith to see that I'm not lying. Not even Bukhari says this. Read, quote, men and women, you're equal to one another, unquote. When it takes, well, I tell you what. When it takes 2 women's testimony to equal 1 man's testimony, isn't that saying women have half a brain? What did Mo mean when he said, quote, women are deficient in intelligence? You think that means they are equal to men, O Taqiya? Lying for Allah, Muslim? I mean, when you say women are deficient in intelligence, is he saying men are deficient in intelligence as well? So they can be equal, you know? 195. Quran 3, 195. Quran 4, 124. Quran 16, 97. 33, 35. 40, verse 40. 49, verse 13. 58, verse 1. Quran says not to fall into sects. Are you saying Sufis and Shiites aren't different sects from Sunnis? Then why are they killing each other? Yeah, are you saying Sufis and Shiites aren't different sects from some Sunnis? Then why are Sunnis killing Shiites? This means accept only Hadiths, be they Shia or Sunni, agreeing with Quran, and throw those causing fitna, chaos, away. Since the Quran says, quote, forbidden to you are married women, except what your right hand possess. And there is a hadith, Sunan Abu Dawud, that describes how that hadith was, quote, handed down by Allah, the Exalted. I bet you aren't to reject that hadith, are you? 9, 1 through 5 refers to the end of peace treaties, so resume war. It is clear. If you aren't taqiyying, lie for Allah, again, then what do you make of Quran 9:1? Quran 9:1. Quran 9:1, quote, freedom from obligation is proclaimed from Allah and His Messenger toward those of the idolaters with whom you've made a treaty. How can that mean it's after treaty? O taqiyying, line for Allah, Muslim. And we'll see how he responds to that in the next video. Bye.